Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. My name is Ronald the Simmer, and this is episode 5, guys. So, currently, guys, we have Queen Moira along with her family right now as they are mourning the loss of course, as we all know, Queen Elodie. So, of course, as we all know, guys, last episode, Queen Elodie has passed away from her child labor from childbed fever. She's officially gone, sadly. She's very beautiful, and I'm just so sad that Elodie is gone. She died too soon. Um, but, here we are. So I'm going to actually show you guys her engrave, if I can find it. There we go. So here, guys, it says Queen Elodie the short-lived, rest in heaven now, happy with faith. So I decided to give her the nickname short-lived because I feel like it made sense. Queen Elodie was the second reigning monarch of Sirius, and she passed probably like maybe a year or two into her reign. Um, I'm gonna say like she's probably been reigning as queen for probably a year, maybe two. But yeah, I she's known as a short lived because she really was a young woman who she was getting older, but she was very much young. She still had a lot of life to live, and she passed away in childbirth, sadly, to her daughter Minerva, which I was corrected in the comments. Thank you, Fantasy Esque. Minerva is actually how you pronounce her name, not Minerva, Minerva. But yes, guys, we are having the funeral. As you all can see, all of the senior princes and princesses are here. So let me show you. So let me show you guys who all is here. So right here we have Queen Moira, of course, as we all know, and we have Prince Victor, who is Queen Elodie's husband. Now they are now. He's of course now a widower. His wife has passed away. Um, and we have Princess Hestia here, guys. So I decided to change Hestia's hair up because little did I know, it's still very much similar to her old hair, but little did I know that her and her aunt, Celestia here, had the same hairstyle. So I changed it up, and I gave her like a bit of her. It's pretty much the same, but it just has like hair kind of caressing in the back here. We also have Princess Arwen, Princess Hera, Prince Orin, and Prince Amir. So basically, all of Queen why is it Moira a part of that group? But yeah, basically all of Queen Elodie's siblings have come, um, and her daughters are all here with the exception of Minerva. Um, and but the nieces and nephews, they did not come because they're not as like I just it's like very close family members. So like if the queen was to die and she had grandkids, they would be coming, but nieces and nephews don't really come to these funerals. They don't come to those types of funerals. So that's why what's her name? That's why Arwen and Hestia were able to go to their grandmother's funeral because they were the grandchildren of High Lady Margaret. But there's no nieces and nephews. So Prince L, Princess Amelia, Princess Nara, and her brother Prince Saik did not come up to this little get together. But you guys also may be wondering where the hell is Princess Deianira, because she is the lady hand, and I feel like this is something that Prince Victor here would notice immediately, that his sister-in-law is not here mourning like the rest of them. And I feel like we're gonna pretend here, guys. I feel like a servant has come down here and informed the prince consort here that essentially, guys, our lovely Princess Deianira, let me see if I can find her. She is currently hosting a council meeting, guys. So Princess Deianira, guys, she's hosting a council meeting, and in this council meeting right now, guys, it is of course our for one lady, Princess Deianira is the lady hand, Our Lady Knight, Our Lady Alchemist, and our Lady Stewardess, as well as our um, Mother Seer. So as soon as the death was basically pronounced about Queen Elodie, um, one of the first things Deianira did was call over the Mother Seer. Of course, for multiple reasons, they have to host a coronation very, very soon in honor of Moira. And on top of them hosting a coronation for Moira, um, they have to, you know, she kind of has to give her blessing to Queen Elodie. She kind of has to give her blessing to Queen Elodie, strengthen her connection after the funeral is done, because she can't actually be a part of the funeral, considering Queen Elodie is not, her sister or her daughter, or not even she's a daughter of Elodie. This is like a old friend of hers, if you will. Really, they were never really friends, but they were just acquaintances. But the whole point of me saying this, guys, is the fact that Deianira is hosting a council meeting, and there are many things that they probably could be discussing. But the main factor is probably about who is going to be the regent of the queen. And one thing I do want to say, guys, I definitely feel like Nadine is not too keen about this right now. She is definitely I'm pretty sure she's discussing with the royal council here that this is a dangerous thing, having Moira on the throne with a father like Victor. He's a vampire. No telling what things that this man can do to influence our princess. I'm pretty sure she's spitting in this council meeting that they cannot trust Victor, because by extension, if Moira is on the throne, they're going to be answering to Victor. They're probably discussing like who's going to be the regent, because whenever a teenager, a child, infant, toddler sits upon the throne, they must require a regent. And a regent cannot get rid of easily, which is something I'm going to add into my rules. So even when Moira does age up until young adult, she's still going to have a regent until it is voted out, essentially. So she has to have, like, somebody has to basically vote to basically make it to where Moira can legally rule on her own. But Victor, knowing this, he's going to go ahead and leave his new in-laws, well, not his new in-laws, but his in-laws down here, and he's going to come up here with his daughter. He's going to kind of crash this council meeting here, and he's going to come up here with his daughter and ask, what's going on, Deianira? Why are you not upstairs? I mean, why are you not in the basement with, why are you not in the crypts with the rest of the family, mourning the loss of our beloved queen? So Victor, he goes, he's running fast as possible. I am sorry that the game is lagging a little bit. I'm doing this all on the 64x64 lot. So, as we all know, that this lot is a bit laggy because of all of the stuff on it. But there we go. So we have our queen, our Moira the Uncrowned. That is literally who she is right now, Moira the Uncrowned, because her coronation has not happened. And she is under what seems to be going to be a regent. And I feel like Victor, as the prince consort, he still has his powers, and he is now the father to the current princess. I mean, to the current queen. Usually we would give those titles. We would give it, if a man, of course, is a father of a princess, like Lord Sorum was, he would get the title of Lord Father. But because Victor is a prince, he is going to get the title of Prince Father. So he is the Prince Father to the queendom right now. The father to Queen Moira. So he kind of has a bit of power here. And I think he's going to go ahead and ask his sister-in-law here, what is going on? Why are you guys hosting our council meeting without the presence of the queen? And Deianira is going to immediately stand up in respect for her prince, in respect for the prince father. But I feel like Deianira would essentially tell Victor here that we were discussing who would be the regent, who would rule in the stead of Queen Moira. And Victor, I think, guys, would immediately say it would be me. So in my rules, guys, whenever there is a prince father, we do I go based off who she has the highest relationship with. And as you all can see, the person that Prince well, Queen Moira, I keep calling her princess because she is a new queen, but she is a new queen now. The person that Queen Moira has the highest relationship with will be her mother, her father, and her sister Arwen. But Arwen is a teen as well, so she can't really rule in the stead of her sister. But I mean, she can if I wanted her to. But I feel like out of both of her family members here, I feel like the person that I'm gonna go with is Prince Victor, especially because they have an amazing compatibility. And Moira really loves her father. I feel like Moira. One thing I do want to say something about Moira is I'm not going to say she is not uneducated. I'm not going to say she isn't educated in how to rule, but she didn't get an actual good education because she before she really could get educated in becoming a queen, her mother of course passed away. She didn't even get to form a harem. She didn't get to do anything, so she really doesn't know too much about being a queen. She's kind of a lost puppy. And she's going to need the guidance of her father Victor, or somebody that's a senior essentially. But Victor would definitely tell Dianira that my daughter has already chosen her prince, or I mean her regent, and it is me, Victor, which would, by extension, make him the the prince father and now the prince regent. He has two prestigious titles already on his belt. And I feel like a Victor would tell his sister-in-law to, please get out of his seat. And he would kindly sit here and tell his daughter to come sit next to him, of course, on a senior seat. And Clarabella here, she's going to move two seats down, and Princess Dianira will have to sit next to Prince Victor. But yes, guys, I feel like in this moment, this would definitely anger High Lady Nadine. They have already, in this queendom, been fearing I feel like they've been fearing the vampires for a while, and now they have a hybrid queen on the throne, and already Prince Victor, though I don't think that he's doing this in a way to kind of I'm pretty sure that this is somewhat of a power grab for Victor. He's making sure that he has power, and he's going to be ruling through his daughter and all of those other things, all of those sweet things. But I'm not going to definitely say like this is like he's power hungry. I feel like Victor is doing this in protection of his daughter. But this can seem very much power hungry to, of course, the people who are not very much in support of who very much are not in support of Victor and his daughter. And guys, one thing I did notice is that Princess Moira does not have a lot of support within the queendom. The person who does is Princess Arwen. Princess Arwen, guys, she has the most support within the queendom out of the two princesses. And if we're gonna go up a generation, one more, it would be Princess Dianira. I haven't really discussed this, but if Dianira wanted, guys, she could take the throne for herself. But she's not the princess regent, so she really can't if she wanted to. I mean, she can if there was like a war happen, a civil war. She can try to advocate for herself to become queen, because it's not too late for Dianira to become queen. But I don't think that Dianira will do that, despite her traits. She has two dangerous traits: paranoid and jealous. So she definitely could if she wanted to. She has the traits to perform this activity, but I don't think that she will, because of the simple fact that I feel like on her deathbed, on Queen Elodie's deathbed, I feel like she definitely talked to her sister Dianira, and she counseled her to very much protect her daughter Moira. I feel like she made Dianira a promise to do that. You guys didn't really get to see that because I was drained, but that was definitely in my head. Like she made Dianira a promise to protect Moira, which she may or may not go through on. But there's still possibilities that there's many claimants around right now, and Daenerys is technically a second or first claimant. Her Yeah, I think she's actually a first claimant because she's a first claimant. Um, and her sisters, Princess, I mean Queen Moira's sisters, are all first claimants as well. So there is a high possibility that either Daenerys or Arwen could take the throne. And another rule that I have added to coups, guys, is that I have decided that whenever I decided, guys, that coups are still possible when the queen is in the capital, but only possible when she has a regent. So, I am going to make this a little bit dangerous, guys. I am going to basically roll to see whether or not a coup will commence in in spite of Queen Moira. I feel like it makes the most sense. Nadine is here. She is the aunt to Princess Arwen, and I'm pretty sure she's right now advocating. I feel like she probably would even yell at Queen Moira here and be like, "This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. How can you have your father here gaining power as a man in this queendom?" I feel like she would definitely yell at Moira and tell her this is unacceptable. You are the future queen. You are now queen, and you're allowing a man to grasp for this much power. He will be essentially ruling in your stead, and you're going to allow this to happen. Um, and Moira, she's just a young. She's becoming. She's going to be a young woman soon, but she doesn't know much. Like, despite her going to be a young adult, she's still somewhat of a kid. Like, her mother didn't really train her that much into becoming queen, unlike Orlin, who really did train. I feel like I feel like the differences between Elodie and Orlin is that essentially, guys, Orlin was more of a queen than a mother to her children, whereas Elodie was more of a mother than a queen to her kids, which kind of, I must say, kind of hindered Moira in a way because she doesn't know much about ruling. I'm pretty sure she sat at councils, like she knows something. She knows something. She's not absolutely like dense. I mean, not dense, but absolutely doesn't know anything about basically becoming queen. I feel like she does know some things about becoming queen, but she didn't have an extensive education like Elodie, Artemis, and Deianira did. They had very extensive educations. They sat at council meetings. Moira listened outside of council meetings. She did that often, but she never really sat at the table to do those things. She never really sat there. She just kind of listened in through the walls of the castle essentially. But I am gonna roll, guys, because we are in a regency right now. We have the prince father here who is essentially ruling in the stead of Queen Moira. Um and we have basically a split court essentially. Some people support Moira, some people support, of course, um Princess Arwen, and we are going to roll to decide whether or not they will try to put Arwen on a throne. So I will be right back, guys. And if the role is, if the role does happen to where Arwen is essentially going to be put on a throne, I'm not going to it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to happen in a course of events. I'm not going to immediately be like, oh, she's going to be queen. No, Nadine is. I feel like Nadine is definitely the leader of this. I feel like if anything, anybody who's grasping for power would be High Lady Nadine. She um she definitely dislikes the prince consort, the prince father. She definitely dislikes Victor. And I feel like she might even yell at him right now. Let me just get that done. She's gonna go ahead and yell at him, and she got done yelling at the queen, but she's definitely going to go ahead and yell at him as well. And she's going to basically essentially tell the prince consort that he needs to step down. He needs to step down as prince regent and allow for a more seasoned woman to take the position as regent. You already have enough power as prince father, being the father to the current queen. You need to step down immediately. But Nadine, I feel like, would definitely be the ringleader of this. Arwen is her niece, and her brother is the father of Arun, which would extension, if Arun did become queen, would make Cyrus the Lord Father, which could give the Bennets a lot of power. She probably would even try to push to marry her own son, who is a teenager now, guys, Figaro, to Princess Arwen. So I'm going to come right back, guys, and I will see you at the dice. So before we do get started, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I have in the rules. I'm going to add to this to make it to where whenever there's a queen under a regency, there will be a risk of a civil war, because things like that did happen in history, where people would be regents and literally take the throne from their niece, nephew, or the person that's on the throne. So coups can happen in two different ways. One way is a dynasty turning on one another, and two, a new dynasty rising. Nonetheless, whenever a coup is happening, it is a bloodless civil war until it isn't. On the queen's deathbed, she may have multiple daughters or granddaughters. If the two eldest heirs, are not in the capital when their grandmother passes, there could be an instance where one of the younger siblings or cousin is placed upon the throne. Unlike civil wars, coups can sometimes be unwanted by the claimant. These claimants' traits matter little to the queen maker's schemes. It is all determined on how the council feels about their upcoming heir. If the heiress has made enemies with the queen's council, or has put little effort into making alliances and relationships with them, they may look to other family members to put on the throne. If the majority of the council has a higher relationship with the other claimants, there is a risk they may turn on the lawful heir. If if the if this is the case, you must roll a die to see if a coup will commence. Roll a 20-sided die to decide. Even numbers, coups, and odd numbers, false alarm. So an even number means that a coup will commence, guys. So we got to make sure that, I'm kind of hoping that a coup does happen. Like, I don't want this for Moira because she's already had a rough life, but drama, Let's go. But before I do go there, this is also going to be a determining factor. When a claimant is placed upon the throne, there is a chance of a war will happen. The support will be determined by their opponent's relationship with the other nobles within the queendom. This will be determined by rolling a die. Roll a 20-sided die to determine 1 through 10 a civil war happens, and 11 through 20 is passive. So the person who was usurped won't go to war with the person if you roll 11 through 20. So here we are at the dice, guys, where we are going to go ahead and roll to see whether or not if they will place Princess Arwen on a throne over Queen Moira. So let's go ahead and roll, guys. 1, 2, 3. This is an even number, guys, which means there is going to be a coup happening. They are going to try to take Moira off the throne. And I think definitely the queen maker is definitely going to be the Mother Seer High Lady Nadine. So I'm going to see you guys back at the castle, and we are going to continue the story from there. Okay, guys, so we are back, and we are, of course, back at the council. Deianira, as you guys can see, was definitely in her mourning outfit, but she felt like she had better things to attend to. Well, I don't think that she felt like it was better to attend to a council meeting, but I feel like the reason why she wasn't at her sister's funeral was to basically try to make sure that the question of who would be regent would be put to rest. And another thing, guys, whenever there is a regent happening, I do want to make this clear so that you guys can know in the future, just in case that we ever end up in another regency. The last Queen's Council members will be the current Queen's Council members until she is, of course, able to rule on her own. So Queen Elodie's council members will stay as Queen Moira's council members until she can rule on her own and pick her own council members. So Clarabella, Lady Luna, Lady Marcella, and Lady Princess Deianira, I should say, or will stay as her council members until she's able to pick her own. Until then, our princess will be stuck with Deianira, Marcella, and Luna, as well as Clarabella as her council members, because she doesn't really have the say so in what she does a lot of the times because she's still learning to rule. Now, um, this is going to be very, very crazy, guys, because we are going to be getting prepared to put Princess Arwen on the throne in some type of way, uh, which is going to be very, very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I didn't mean to tap that. Ooh, this game is so laggy, guys. Well, this lot is so laggy. I can't wait to move off of it. We're gonna come over here to game options and turn autonomy on full. I'm going to allow them to do as they must. Um, one thing I will do though, I wonder if Minerva is still up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Princess Queen Moira to go ahead and kind of take care of um her, yeah, adopt her as a care dependent so that she knows that you are also like a caregiver to her, and you can go ahead and bottle feed your little sister Minerva. um Victor, I think he's going to go ahead and take him a good bath after this council meeting has been adjourned. um and I feel like all of the ladies will go ahead and get up and they're going to go, they're going to leave the council room, but I feel like in this moment they will definitely, like, some of them at least will essentially, oh, what happened here? I'm gonna replace that. I'm so tired of these fireplaces. Some of them will go ahead and talk off to the private, and we're gonna see which ones will. So let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and get Prince Victor to go to his chambers so that he can relax, take his bath, blah blah blah. We gotta call over the blood banquet as well. I need to fix this really, really bad because our blood banquet just kind of just stopped working for some reason. Yeah, you're gonna go ahead and bottle feed your sister. Celestia is hungry. We have not seen Celestia in a while, so this is kind of nice to see her. She's been basically at. I'm so sorry for the lag, guys. It's so bad for some reason. Well, we all know why, but it's really aggravating because I can't. It's just my game has not been as laggy in years. It's so aggravating to me. Which is why I want to leave this castle as soon as possible. But yeah, we haven't seen Celestia in a while, which it's nice to see her again after so long. She's been at Sunstone Castle taking care of her twins. I think Sayek and Nara are twins, if I'm not mistaken. And last episode, guys, I did make the mistake of saying that Amir and Celestia were twins. I always forget that they're not twins, but I always think that they are twins because they are the same. They have the same father, and their father, they were the last two kids to Queen Orlin. So I automatically always think that they were twins because they were the last two kids to Queen Orlin, and both of their father was Matthias. So they are definitely not twins, guys. Celestia was born before Amir, but of course he had a spell casted on him for him to age faster and become more mature, I guess, as he aged. He became a quick learner because of course, Giselle's spells. No one ever no one ever figured it out though. Giselle kind of died with her in her grave. But I'm gonna go ahead and get Celestia to kind of get some food, because she is quite hungry, and I don't feel like getting a butler to, cook for them. So I'm just gonna get them to use the party thing. Okay, guys, so I am back after essentially calculating all of the not the influence points of the princesses. I'm gonna do that in the next episode. But I am done calculating all of the relationships they had, and it looks like Arwen officially does have more support than Moira. Um, she Arwen has a support. We're just gonna go bar for bar. Arwen has the support of High Lady Nadine, which Princess Arwen has 10, and no, Princess Moira has 10 with her, and Arwen has a 52 relationship with her. Um, Celestia supports Princess Moira over Arwen. She has a 48 with Moira and a 46 with Arwen. Dynera supports greatly. It looks like Arwen over Moira. She has a 39 with Moira and a 58 with Arwen. Um, Marcella supports Moira over Arwen. So far, guys, it's essentially 2-2, but Marcella supports Moira over Arwen. She has a 24 with Moira and a 15 with Arwen. Um, and Lady Luna, though, she supports Princess Arwen. She has a 37 with Arwen and a 25 with Moira. Lady Clarabella, she supports more Mistress Clarabella. She supports Arwen over Moira. She has a 42 with Arwen and a 24 with Moira. So guys, as you can see, Moira has a 2-4. Moira has basically 2 points in total, and Arwen has a total of 4. And we could probably even get another point if we look at Lady Clarabella, Lady Clara, not Clarabella, but Lady Clara, to see if she may have like a no. She doesn't look like it doesn't look like she has a relationship with Lady Clara. Yeah, but what about Arwen? Does she has a relationship with Clara? Nope, it does not look like it. So I guess neither the princesses will get that point with Lady Clara. Because Lady Clara is still the High Lady of Morgana Castle. So yeah, guys, the coup was definitely happening. I won't let it happen this episode. It's probably gonna happen next episode, guys. Just want to make that clear because right now we're just gonna spend as much time as possible with Princess Moira as we can, Queen Moira as we can, while she is still sitting on the throne of Sirius. Um, Now, something I did want to say, but is losing my mind. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I do want to appreciate everyone who has been subscribing to my channel. I did notice that I'm at 100 subscribers. I just want to give my appreciation and, thank you all for basically supporting me in my journey. I'm not doing this for fame or anything, guys. I just kind of want to play the game and have like a little community. That people listen to my stories, our stories, if you will. But this is because this is a community that I'm wanting to build. So I just want to say that I'm really appreciative for the 100 subscribers, and I hope more of you do subscribe in the future. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to make that a little clear with us all. Now, one thing I do want to discuss a little bit before we do end this episode. I'm going to discuss Princess Deianira, and Princess Hestia. As we all know, everyone forgot about her birthday because of everything that was going on with her mother, so she didn't really have a birthday party. Hestia kind of was, she kind of didn't get her birthday like she wanted to. But she does. Oh, her aunt is gonna come talk to her. She does. She did inherit the. She did roll the kleptomaniac trait. Oh, hey Nadine, you're talking to your aunt. Let's just hug her a little bit. She's probably down here, probably trying to talk to her niece, tell her to watch out for her older sister Moira. Because I really do feel like Lady Nadine is going to be the one bandwagoning to basically put her niece Arwen on the throne. I feel like it's all in a scheme of to basically probably get Nadine more power. Through her brother, through her niece, potentially the future Queen Arwen. So the what I was trying to say, guys, Hestia definitely did take randomize the kleptomaniac trait, and I want to say I feel like she inherited this because she probably or randomized this. Her personality kind of grew with it because as a child, guys, she out of Margaret. With Margaret, she was definitely the favorite grandchild out of the two that Cyrus had. Out of the two kids that Cyrus had, Hestia was definitely the favorite child to her grandmother. her and I'm not gonna say that she didn't love her daughter, her granddaughter, Arwen, but Hestia definitely did have like a higher relationship with Margaret, and we can probably even come check here if I'm not mistaken. Well, it was a lot higher than this. It's 40 right now. Let me check Arwen. It probably has gone down because they haven't spoken to each other in a very long time. But I do remember that Hestia was kind of the favorite sister out of Arwen and Hestia. When it came to Margaret, yeah, look, Margaret has like a 10 relationship with her granddaughter. It's not to say that she doesn't love her, but she doesn't. She just isn't as close with her as she is with Hestia. Now, I do feel like maybe Hestia kind of has like a bit of an entitled spirit in a way. Like she probably feels like she probably should be the senior sister out of her and Arwen, considering that her grandmother Margaret kind of favored her over Arwen, and you know. I feel like this trait, because in my interpretation to the kleptomaniac trait when it comes to this challenge, is that it is a person that kind of covets, like almost like a jealous trait, and she does have like a tendency to steal things, but I feel like it is she kind of wants to steal her sister's life, in a way. I'm not gonna say she's just like this evil person and she's just like out to get her, but she does, I feel like, emulate her sister Arwen quite a bit, maybe even Moira a little bit, and probably wonders why she wasn't born before Arwen. um but I just kind of wanted to get that out the way, so that you guys can understand like my understanding, or maybe you guys have different opinions on the kleptomaniac trait and how this may apply to Arwen. If you do, please do tell me. I would like to know. But this is like my thoughts on why Hestia is who she is now. um she has a tendency to steal things even though she's a part of the rich, but I do believe that it's because she kind of is a little bit jealous of her elder sisters, especially Arwen, because they both come from the same father, the same mother, and she was definitely favored by her grandmother Margaret over Arwen, and but Margaret never like was a person to like really pin her granddaughters against each other. I don't think that's who she was, but she did have her favorite. But despite Arwen, but despite Hestia being her favorite granddaughter, she still advocated for Arwen to basically prepare to one day rule as queen. Like that was something that she did say before, of course, she did pass away. Okay, guys, so before we actually do end this episode, I do want to go ahead and focus a little bit on Deianira, guys. She is currently writing down the spells that she is going to um, be practicing later in the deep midnight. She has, of course, as we all know, something very much planned, and you guys are going to probably get to see it very very soon. Um, she very much is in deep thought right now, saddened by the loss of her sister, saddened by all of the things that's going on, and she's probably trying to wrap around her head how she's going to try to keep her niece Moira safe. After she promised her sister that she would, she never even got to let her sister see how powerful her people are, without the help of the goddess. And I feel like Deianira is truly very much heartbroken by everything that's going on, because she definitely loved her sister, and she did not expect to lose her so soon. Um, but she is going to try to find a way to make sure that her daughter, her niece's reign will be strengthened. The same thing she was going to try to prove to her sister, she's now going to go ahead and try to make it happen for her niece, her niece Moira. She understands the tensions that are in court right now. She's very much saddened by everything that's going on. But I don't think that Arwen thinks that. I don't think that Deianira thinks that a coup is about to commence. Um, I don't think that's even in her forefront right now, though she does definitely think that there might be some tensions between her daughter, her nieces, Moira and Arwen, considering they both have very strong claims to the throne, but one of them looks more like a witch than the other. But she's going to try to find a way. She is finding a way to ensure that her niece's reign will be protected. So, guys, With that being said, my name is Ronald the Simmer, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.